Happy Wednesday to you, fellas. Hopefully you're doing well on this great hump day and your morning's off to a good little start. You're ready to settle on into some sports and some sports betting talk. We'll, of course, make sure we go ahead and recap yesterday, which a day in which we get to ring the cash register, but man, am I kind of pissed off with yesterday's results. Even though it was a good day, you win, up over a unit. I'll throw the screenshot up here in a second. Not satisfied. Not satisfied with that. It all comes down to Lance Lynn. I am, call it 18 hours removed from Lance Lynn putting the dagger in us, and still extremely pissed off with that Lance Lynn play. So let's go ahead and jump on into that recap, have ourselves a nice little time, and then let's talk some soccer, I guess, along the way. So there you can see it right there. We do get to ring that cash register after a 5-3 day and plus 1.57 units. Love to see that right there, and love to see that we're now positive on the week at plus 1.45 units. All right, let's go ahead now and run through this recap. We had two bets there in the same game between the Tigers and the Guardians in that first game, the doubleheader. Jose Ramirez over 1.5 total bases, just missed out on the hook. He got one total base when obviously we needed two. You know what? I thought something magical was going to happen. I was watching that game, and it was 3-3 in the bottom of the ninth. He was due up in the 10th inning. He was going to be the third batter in the 10th inning. But then, unfortunately, the Tigers walked off for the fourth consecutive game. They got a walk-off win as my man hit a bomb of a blast of a home run. So, a little unfortunate right there. But thankfully, within that same game, Boyd, he went over 1.5 walks. Still a little bit of a head-scratcher. Why that one wasn't 2.5 walks. And then maybe you got a little bit of a decision to make if you're going to go ahead and bet that. But a 1.5 walks, that's an absolute no-brainer. At minus 105 to boot. I'm not quite sure what the books were doing on that one, but we were able to take advantage of that line. Lance Lynn, under 6.5 Ks is the reason why it doesn't feel as good as last night, even though you win a unit and a half. Threw 35 pitches in the first inning, gave up 3 runs, had 1 strikeout, so you're sitting pretty good. That is a big inning that could knock him out of the game early, and then the game trickled on. He was picking up a strikeout generally every inning or so, and then we enter the 6th inning. Trying to go off the top of my head here. What was he at, like 90 pitches? Or if it wasn't at 90, he was at 89. You've got the 9-hitter due up, but he was 1 for 2 off him. Then, obviously, the top of the order, which was each of those guys had a couple of hits off him. I believe it was Baum and Turner that batted 1-2, and both of them have hit Lance Lynn. So, hell, I thought he was going to go ahead and get pulled. He comes on out for that 6th inning. Okay, leadoff single. He's got to be done, right? Now he's at mid-95. Nope. The next batter, I think he got hit by a pitch. My memory starts to elude me a little bit there because I'm just so really pissed off by this play. And then he's at about 100 pitches, runner on first and second. Trey Turner's up. You're at 100 pitches. What, did the manager took over 6.5 Ks? What the hell are you doing leaving this guy out there in a 1-run game? Now, it worked out for the manager, so it's hard to fault the decision, but he strikes out Trey Turner, and then, of course, with the left-handed bat up in Kyle Schwarber, he gets the hook. So another one, just like Pivetta last week, lose a K-prop on the last batter that my man faces, and that one hurt. Go to get a good plus money cash. I don't understand why he's out there. Again, it worked out, so it's hard to knock the manager in his decision and his strategy, but shit, man, in today's baseball, when guys get the early hook. Oh, man, that one really stinks, and especially, again, at that 35-pitch first inning. So that one leaves a sour taste in my mouth right there. But then we bounced back with what I think was my best cash of the entire MLB season. We're about 3 weeks into this MLB season, and Chris Sale over 15.5 outs at plus money is my best cash so far this season. You look at his baseball card going into that game, he had 12 innings pitched. He had given up, I think it was 17 runs. He had given up, I think, 5 home runs. He was getting rocked in 3 games. Not against this Twins team, though, that can't hit left-handers. That's a time where, guys, you try and handicap this stuff the best we can. We try and predict when a guy can succeed or when a guy may fail. That was an opportunity where, even though Chris Sale had been rocked in his 3 starts, he'd bring along the strikeouts. And then bringing along the strikeouts was letting me know that his stuff was there. He just ran up against the Rays, the Orioles, and whatever the third team was that all crushed left-handed pitching. So I thought that was a good chance to take that over. Love to see that one come through for us. What about that Braves F5 team total? Of course, they hit Chris Snell, cashed on a home run. That one should have been 2.5. We got another gift that one was at 1.5. Marlins F5 team total. All right, took 2 of our units on Monday, but we got a little bit of it back yesterday. They still owe us some more, but it was nice to see the Marlins come through for us and give us back some of our coin as they go over 1.5 team total. Then Cubs F5 team total. Watched enough baseball to know when you have bases loaded in the first inning with 1 out and you can't score a run, yeah, you know that bet's sunk. It doesn't matter, even though they have traffic in every base or in every inning going forward. Even a chance to get a walk-off win in the top of the 5th inning with the runner on first and second could hit a 3-run bomb. Nah, it wasn't in the cards last night as the Cubs got no runs through that 5th inning. And then Rangers-Royals, F5 over 4.5, just a system play. We've had 5 of those now this season. We started off 0-2, and now we've rebounded with 3 straight wins on my system plays as that one came through for us going over 4.5 in the first 5 innings. So love to see that right there, and plus 1.57 units. All right, there we go, fellas. Let's go ahead and jump in that comment section. What are you guys up to on a great Wednesday? Are you guys betting Champions League today? How about Chelsea Real Madrid knocking off Chelsea? Chelsea again can't score. They are a bona fide mess. Frank Lampard, seen the tweets. He's had 8 matches he's managed in 2023. He's lost all 8 of those mothers. He's lost all 8 of those guys. Chelsea can't score. How about a big must-win game for Chelsea? How are you only starting 2 attackers? How is Gallagher and Kai your only 2 attackers in not only a must-win game, but a game where you got to win it by the margin? What did we say when we talked about that on the first leg? We said that was going to be an Ancelotti masterclass over Lampard. He got exposed really bad yesterday. And then the other one, what was the other game that I watched? What was the other Champions League game? I don't even remember anymore. And AC Milan Napoli. Man, both teams missed a penalty. Napoli couldn't come through. That one, Napoli's wasted their season right now. I mean, yeah, you're going to be Serie A champs. You're up 14 points with a handful of games to go, but I mean, nobody really cares about Serie A outside of if you live in Italy. So, man, big disappointment. They can't even make a semifinals in the Champions League this season when they were just clipping along and one of the better teams throughout all of Europe throughout much of the season. So I feel a little bit bad there for Napoli. So look forward to Champions League, though. Today you got Bayern and Manchester City. I'm sure people are thinking another goal fest like it was, in the first leg when it went over 2.5. But I think this time people think Bayern's actually going to contribute. Not too sure. I mean, I like to think that Bayern's going to contribute, but just look at what Guardiola's doing, man. He's tweaked that system. He puts John Stones up in the midfield, which is now Jurgen Klopp saw that work to perfection. So what did he do on Monday night against Leeds? Oh, he puts Trent Alexander up in the midfield. Yeah, that was a smart move there by Guardiola, putting Stones up in the midfield. So, yeah, they're clicking. They'll knock off Bayern today. And then Benfica, Inter, I don't really care about that. It's going to be interesting, though. You're going to be getting, more than likely, Inter is going to be able to get past Benfica. You're going to have a guaranteed Italian team in the Champions League final, assuming Inter can obviously pull off and get past Benfica today. So, interesting stuff right there. Good morning, Ross. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Jeff? What's up, my man? My Liverpool guy coming through with a 6-1 beatdown. You think you go in top 4, Jeff? What do you think, man? You think top 4 is just out of reach, or maybe you'll fall into Europa League? What are you thinking there, Jeff? What's up, PK? On my way to school, just got the notification for the live. We're in a streak to 85K. Yes, sir. Join me right here on this YouTube channel, 1 p.m. Central Time. 1 p.m. Central Time. We're going to sweat out a NRFI together in Rangers Royals. Hopefully it's not too much of a sweat, and we can just meet up at the cash counter at the end of the show. But yeah, come on, PK. I look forward to sweating with you and getting you cash. What's up there, Jared? Erling Haaland, the GOAT. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man City, yeah, they're going to roll today. I don't want to say they're going to roll today. They're going to advance and do whatever it takes. And then you get City versus Real Madrid. Wow, City versus Real Madrid is going to be, that's going to be a good one. What's up there, Brian? The Sale Whisperer. That one felt good. That one felt like Bubik last year. We took the Angels F5 team total under 2.5 at plus money. That one felt good. That was a good hit. Holland to get a goal, probably. Napoli, yeah, that was the game I couldn't think of. And City wins 3-1. Yeah. I think, what is the, I didn't even look. What is both teams to score in over 2.5? I know both teams to score was minus 200. Just curious what if you tack on, obviously, an over 2 point. It feels like Bayern will get a goal. Although Bayern, or not Bayern, I should say Thomas Tuchel, 3 straight defeats to Guardiola. 3 straight games he has also not scored against Guardiola. I don't think it's a given that Bayern's going to score just because they're at home and they're the home team and they're going to score. I'm not really buying into that scenario. Both teams scored over 2.5 is minus 135. If you think that is a good bet. Maybe you lock it in. But yeah, I'm not here thinking just because that game was in. I mean, they did get a couple chances in the Etihad, right? You had Musiala had that one good chance. Sane had a really good chance. Other than that, I don't remember a ton of good chances for Bayern. They're going to play better. They're going to be at home, but I'm not. I don't think. Yeah. Remember me telling about City being in the top 4 in Champions League like a month or so ago. Well, I also remember you telling me that PSG was going to get past Bayern. So it's give and take, Jared. You win some, you lose some, my man. What do you like about City, man? They don't let up. Yeah, they don't let up. I mean, Guardiola knows, right? He's not one of this. He's never going to pack it in and play defense. His best defense is offense and ball possession. And you got to try and get it off their foot, and they're incredibly tough. They'll score as much as they want. Yeah, even if they had the lead. Yeah, I mean, that's just Guardiola. He's not in it to give you the ball and play defense. Nah, he wants the ball. So, yeah, they're getting a lot less corners this year. Have you noticed their corner stats are way down? Have you noticed we have not been playing Man City corners? They're not doing their normal, like, hit the flanks and hit these square balls. They've changed with Holland. You can get more air balls because Holland is a major threat in the air. So, yeah, they've changed a little bit, but yeah, they're still very much a possession base, dominate the game, obviously control. Yeah, I was just poking fun at you, Jared. That's why we like sports, right? Because we like the friendly banter, we like the BS back and forth. So, all right, fellas, that's obviously all I've got. I'm not interested in. Did we get any? Did DraftKings do any boosts for Champions League like they did yesterday? You can get. Oh, here you go. Here's the DraftKings boost. You can get Holland to score a goal at even money on DraftKings. So looks like we're not getting any Champions League boosts, but we are getting Holland to score at even money. I'm probably getting a goal, but I can't imagine betting that. I was right yesterday on my leans. I take that back. I guess I was 1-1 on my leads. I said Napoli was going to advance, and they did not advance. But I said under 2.5, and you could live bet that Real Madrid team total. I did live bet Real Madrid team total. I didn't send the tweet out because I thought it'd be tough for you guys to tail, but we talked about it right here, so I don't know if you guys did it. But I also said under 2.5 goals would hit, just like it did in the second leg between Real Madrid and Liverpool. So making the right reads in soccer, not pulling the trigger. Obviously, we did pull the trigger there on Monday night and got a good plus cash, but I don't really like leg twos. That's why I'm not really pulling the trigger that much. Yeah, Guardiola is the GOAT. I don't know who is the GOAT. If you're going to talk about the GOAT, it's either him or Ancelotti. Holland to score. What's Holland to score to? I don't know. I can see what Holland is to score to. Holland to get a brace. What is Holland to get a brace? Holland to get a brace is 380 there, Jared. 380 for Holland to get and I'm not price shopping, obviously. I can guarantee right now you can go to Barstools and get a better price. This is just DraftKings, but yeah, plus 380 for Holland to get 2. I did see, I don't know if you guys saw, but Phil Foden is back in training. That is massive for their chances to win the Premier League title, right? Because now they can rotate every weekend. They can play midweek, they can play Grealish, and they can play Silva. And then when they jump in the Premier League on the weekend, they can bring in Mahrez and Foden. Getting Foden back in this late stretch is massive. Getting Foden back. Holland definitely scoring 2 on Saturday. I don't know. Who do they play on Saturday? Let's see who they play Saturday. The problem is they're going to start pulling Holland when they get up. They're going to start pulling Holland and throwing Alvarez in just to save his legs. You've already been listening to Guardiola's press, or maybe you don't, but I listen to his press conferences. He's already talked about taking the load management kind of off of Holland coming down the stretch here. So scoring 2, if they're up 3-0 at halftime, didn't they pull Holland at halftime against Leicester? I believe they did. I'm pretty sure they pulled Holland at halftime against Leicester. If they're up 3-0, yeah, I mean, he may get 2 of those 3, but then you're screwed because he gets pulled at halftime. He's talked openly in his press conference about watching the load that's put on Holland as they come down the stretch. Oh, they're playing Sheffield? Oh, in the FA Cup semifinal? I mean, they'll smash them. That's a chance. That's not even a team that's not even in the Premier League. So, yeah. And that'll be at Wembley. Holland's first time at Wembley, if I recall. Holland's first trip to Wembley, because obviously United won the EFL Cup, so they didn't go to Wembley. This could be Holland's first trip to Wembley. That could be a nice little time there for Holland. he may want to share the goal record, but the manager gives him the hook. He can't be on the field to shatter it. So I hear you, man. He's a beast, man. I mean, nobody's saying he can't score all the goals. If he's an absolute beast. So, all right, fellas, we've got about 4 minutes to go. We got about 4 minutes to go till the payoff pitch. If you guys got anything, I can hang for a more minute, and then let me go find ourselves a hockey squirrel. I haven't actually talked to him all morning. Hopefully he's awake. Oh, there you go. He's messaged me on. Nope, other people messaged me on Twitter. All right, hopefully he's around. Let's go find ourselves a squirrel. I've got some good bets today, fellas. I've got some nice bets today. I've got a couple that I haven't given out. I have already given out a fair amount on Twitter, but I think I held back a couple. I think I did hold back a couple. Man, that Martin Perez strikeout prop that I shared, it was weird. I was like looking at it and about to buy it, and then DraftKings and BetMGM both removed it, and I was like, oh shit, like this is about to go to 5.5 at like really good plus money. It was at 4.5 at plus 114 over a FanDuel. I bought it, tweeted it immediately, and then what happens? It goes the other way. People are slamming the under. It goes to plus 128 on FanDuel. I bet you guys probably got plus 128 on FanDuel. It came back on DraftKings at plus 110. People are slamming the under. I look forward to justifying that on why Martin Perez is going to go over 4.5 strikeouts today and give us a good plus money cash. Do you like Tank or Garcia? I don't even know what that. I have no idea what Garcia or Tank is. If you want to expand on that a little bit, Jared, but I have no goddamn clue what you're talking about, man. There's a lot of Garcias in this world. That's a pretty common last name, so I have no idea what you're talking about. And I don't know what Tank is, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea. Couldn't tell you. All right, fellas, one more minute. If Jared wants to expand on Tank or Garcia, and then we will we'll get ourselves. Let's find Hockey Squirrel here. Let me hit him up. Anything, Jared? Oh, boxing? I don't know anything about boxing, man. Don't know anything about boxing. All right, I'm gonna. I got about a minute here to go find Hockey Squirrel. Keeping an eye on the NBA? No. Not in any capacity. Nothing. It takes a long time to research 15 baseball games a day. And then not only then to research it, but then to be composed enough where then you can talk about it on a show for another half an hour. It's taking a lot of time. It's taking a lot. That's why I haven't done the Highline podcast in what feels like 2 or 3 weeks. I was the reason we canceled Between the Post 2 times ago. Matt canceled it last week, but if Matt didn't cancel it last week, I probably wouldn't have done it last week. It just takes a long time to handicap all these amount of games and then again to be prepared. So, all right, sweet. Let me go find us a Hockey Squirrel, and I'll be right back. Hey there, baseball fans. Welcome on to the Hump Day edition here of the Payoff Pitch. I'm, of course, Jason. He's, of course, the Hockey Squirrel, where we talk baseball every single day and give you guys leans and bets along the way, powered by the great company there of Bet Openly. What's going on there, Squirrel? What's your opening mind, or what's on your mind there on Quick Hits?
Hello?
Hey, man.
Man, I'm kind of scrambled this morning, to be honest. I have some bets. I've looked at some things here. Haven't made total sense out of some of it in comparison to where the lines have moved. But I do have value. I gave out 4 bets yesterday, last night on my Twitter. So if you're not following on Twitter yet, also I gave the same bets out in my Facebook group, Hockey Squirrel Sports Betting. So if you have either of those or like to use those, get in there for early value, because all 4 lines have now moved. They were all totals. They've all moved a half a point to the good in the direction that I wanted them to move. So I apologize if today the bets that I'm giving out are no longer available. But again, either follow on social media or consider a Hockey Squirrel membership, even better yet, where you get all the bets, tennis, NHL, MLB, whatever's on the board. So yeah, other than that, man, I'm a little bit scrambled here. I'm trying to get a crack in my windshield fixed this morning, so I had to call around and get that done, and then there was some issue with filing my taxes, and I've just been all scattered around. So I don't feel the most prepared, but I'm going to do my best to try to help people out here today. So.
Nice. Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you a question actually about Bet Openly. It was something I was thinking about last night when I was having a couple of drinks, celebrating another profitable day here on Payoff Pitch. I wanted to ask you, let's say I put in a bet there on Bet Openly and you come along and accept it. Do I see your win-loss record? And that's all I would really care about, because I'm sitting here as a guy who placed the bet. I want to know what's your win-loss, right? If you place, let's say, 500 bets on Bet Openly, have won 400, only lost 100, I'd all of a sudden sit there and go, shit, I better get in another bet today, because this one's probably going to lose, because the guy that has this credible hit rate just accepted my bet on the other side. Is there anything on Bet Openly where you can at least you don't get too deep in the weeds?
You do not know anything about your opponent. So anything about the person you're accepting the bet from or the person who's accepting your bet, it's completely anonymous. They do track your stats. Sure. So you know how many wins and losses and pushes you have since you've started the account, all those types of things. But yeah, other than that, it's completely anonymous. However, I will say one tip that you can use, and I sparingly do this, it's not a big part of what I do, but if you're looking for an edge, you don't have a data model or things like that, you can go to a betting exchange such as Bet Openly and look at who's making the largest wagers. I mean, there are some times where people are trying to get down $5,000, $10,000 on a game, and consider that sharp action and take the other side. So like today, for example, I don't know, if somebody was offering on the Rockies, they're offering you the Rockies, meaning they want the Pirates, right? And they're doing $5,000. It may be a slight indication that you don't want to take the Rockies, and you might want to go to a sports book and try to get the Pittsburgh Pirates then, if you wanted to be on the same side as that sharp action, or key in on that line. It might give you some kind of direction on a game.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that, just a little bit of a tip. But yeah, as far as seeing other people's records, no, it's all anonymous. So you don't know who's accepting. It could be
Okay.
Joe Smith down the street, or it could be Billy Walters himself. You have no idea.
Right. Okay. Cool. Thought maybe that could add to a little bit of entertainment there. All right. Let's just go ahead and jump on into around the bases. Let's take a couple games. How do you want to kick off the show? We do got some early games. Nothing that we need to really jump into. If you've got a bet on an early game, there's plenty of time. But anything on an early game, or what do you want to kick it off with?
Well, I'm going to ask you about the Pirates and Rockies. Yesterday I had the Pirates and I had the over, and I ended up winning both. I didn't have the full game, though. I took that first 5 on the fade against those two pitchers, and I got there on the first 5 over 7. That was great, and the Pirates won, I think, 5-3. So
yes, sir.
Really kind of played Minesweeper there, avoided the landmine of taking the full game over, which I was really kind of proud of myself there for hitting the first 5 and not getting the full game. So I did pick right there yesterday. I don't have a side today. However, last night I was watching this line tip towards the under from 11.5. I think it might have even come out at 12. I got it 11.5 on the under, and today it's currently 11. So I'm beating the line by a half a point of half a run, right? And this is great. This is easy at this point. You have a line that you can no longer get. I gave it out last night at 10.40 or something like that. And but as to why, I've looked at the weather. Generally in this ballpark, when you're at Coors Field, I do believe, if I remember correctly, the direction you want the wind blowing is to left field roughly, or left field and out. It's blowing toward right field today between 14 and 18 miles an hour. So I don't know if that plays a big factor, because I don't see it necessarily in the pitching of Gomber for sure, at least with the runs he's given up and what. I think it was 5 or 6 per game. So taking an under, I'm not really totally understanding why. Then it comes down to Oviedo, and he's been pretty good, it seems. So I don't know if it's expected to be a one-sided game, if it's because of the wind, or is it because of the handedness of the pitchers that are playing today? They could be weaker for the batters. You have Rockies playing against a right-handed pitcher. I don't know how Pirates bat against a lefty, but perhaps that's an angle. I'm not entirely sure, but I know for a fact that I'm beating the line. So that's what matters to me, is that I beat the line. I guess I don't totally care how, but it is interesting, why that's happening at a field where normally the over is such a play.
Yeah, I'll expand on that a little bit, because I do have one of those pieces in my double play there in the 8th inning. I like the Pirates F5 team total. I always give out stats, and people know I look at baseball of what have you done in the last 10 days. So when I throw out numbers, I'm not saying at the end of every stat at the last 10. It's you know what I'm talking about. The Pirates are coming up versus left-handers. Obviously, they smoked Kyle Freeland 2 games ago, so naturally they've got a big jump. So now you're trying to read, are they trending up versus left-handers, or did Kyle Freeland just have a bad start? I kind of like them today, given the ballpark of what it is, given Gomber's big-time struggles in 3 starts. I like that Pirates F5 team total. It's only at 2.5, which normally you get 3.5 at Coors, but maybe that's because of the under that you're talking about. That's half of my double play there in the 8th inning, is that Pirates F5 team total. So interesting, though, what you're talking about there. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Phillies and the White Sox. I like the Phillies F5 money line today with the 2-way line. So if there's a tie, we'll go ahead and get our wager back. I'm really just going to go ahead and attack the better offense. One offense bats 305. The other one bats 221. One has a on-base percentage of 374. The other one's 259. One slugs 448. The other one's 357. One draws a walk every 9%. The other one's 4.5. And one strikes out 22.5 versus 24.6. So I'm getting the better offense in the Phillies across all the major categories that you care about. So now it comes down to the starting pitcher. Clevenger, no doubt about it, he's got the better numbers up over Walker through the first starts. But give Walker credit. He comes off a nice outing against the Reds in a repeat performance where he only gave up 4 hits and 1 run through 6 innings pitched. I think maybe he's trying to turn the corner. This is a guy that has better stuff than what he did his first 2 starts. So I like that he was able to put it together in his last outing. So I like the Phillies. They obviously got shut out there in the nightcap, losing 3-0. They're a great offense. You saw it in game 1. Really expect them to come out hard versus Clevenger and lead the game through the first 5 innings. So that's the first bet for me, is Phillies F5 money line. What's another one for you, Squirrel?
I'll stick with the theme of the early games for myself. We'll do an a noon game, sorry, 12:15, I think it is here. I'm looking at what the line is that I got. I think it was over 9.5. It is Diamondbacks and Cardinals. I got over 9.5, and it's 10.5 now. So a full run of value there, which is pretty unheard of, especially in something like the MLB, where there isn't a ton of movement to be had typically. I've been catching these overnight lines, which again I was telling you the other day. I don't know if it was this week or late last week that really we should be taking advantage of overnight lines if we are playing with a small bankroll. Where I was saying it really doesn't pay if you're it doesn't pay to wait unless you're betting more than like $3,000 a game, basically. Which again, I thought most people here probably aren't doing that. So getting in early is the thing to be doing, and that's why I gave these things out on Twitter. So Diamondbacks and Cardinals over 9.5 and clearing an entire run of value on that. But as to why you have Bumgarner on the mound, can't say I think he's excellent. And then Jake Woodford is a name that I think is a little bit newer. I think he's been around, but a little bit newer, I think.
I think that one run increase is because of Matt Bumgarner, right? Everybody says Patrick Corbin, and who's next? It's Bumgarner. Like those are the top two guys. It's like, am I fading this guy today? What am I taking? I'm fading him today. I've got a player prop to fade him today. So yeah, it's the fade Bumgarner classic spot against a Cardinals team that crushes left hand. Naturally doesn't crush it. That's why I'm not on the F5 team total. Generally speaking, crushes left-handed pitching. That's why I'm not on the F5 team total, though, because they're not hitting left-handers all that great right now. But there's one player on their team that kills Madison Bumgarner. We'll get to that and keep swinging. Let's keep on going there with the Twins and the Red Sox with an F3 under 2.5 at plus money. You liked the under yesterday. The under's a really good play today. Boy, what an ugly push you got yesterday on that under 9. It was 2-2 at the 9 innings.
With the Twins game, huh?
Yeah, it was
2-2, and then extra innings just. The thing was, I was not happy to push, but I was happy to not lose. You know what I mean? Sure. Like it would have felt extra bad to end the 9th inning 2-2 and then lose at under 9. That would have been
brutal.
So,
Well, the under's a really good play today. Obviously, you still got the Red Sox team that struggles versus right-handers, and Ryan is a better than Sonny Gray in my mind. I think he's got some better numbers than Sonny Gray. And the Twins, even though they're going to get a right-hander today in Corey Kluber and not a left-hander, they can't hit right-handers either. One team hits right-handers at 197, and the other one's at 213. That ranks 28th and 29th in baseball. You're talking about the 2 of the 3 bottom teams in MLB of hitting right-handers. They also bring in no power to the plate versus right-handers. One slugs 342, the other one slugs 291. That ranks 25th and 29th in the MLB. They both strike out a ton at 32.4% and 26.6%. That ranks dead last in the MLB in 26. Again, you got Joe Ryan on the mound. He's just been absolutely great. He did have a hiccup against the Astros in the 3rd inning. He managed to give up a grand slam. Otherwise, Joe Ryan's been really good this season. And Corey Kluber, boy, after the rough opener against the Orioles, he has settled down nicely. And we remember how much he settled down just against the Rays, as he cost us a couple bets in his last outing against the Rays, where he was good up until the 5th inning. Okay, well, I'm taking the F3 under. I just want one turn through the rotation of bad offenses and good pitchers. I'm taking it at plus 102 of under 2.5 runs. Time to shut up and pitch. It's time to talk some guys that are throwing the ball today. Who do you got today on the mound?
You had mentioned the first guy was Corey Kluber there. I have him to do 5.5 strikeouts, and the line's at 4.5. And you have an extremely high strikeout rate from the Twins bats, so it's fairly self-explanatory there. That would be one pitcher I really like, at least. So
have to. I mean, guys, they strike out the most versus right-handed pitchers at 32.4%. Worse in baseball by far. He got 6 strikeouts versus the Twins last season. I am with you. This was my number one, over 4.5 Ks, minus 120. And coming off a game where he got 7 strikeouts versus the Rays, and the Rays don't strike out. Yeah, I don't understand why this is at 4.5. Go ahead and grab that one. I also like Martin Perez over 4.5 Ks at plus 114. He's gone over in 2 of his 3 starts with 5 and 7 Ks. He just missed versus the Astros. Look what the Astros do versus right-handers. They have the league best. They only strike out 14.4%, and he was on the hook. At plus money, he's on the hook versus the best team in baseball is striking out. And now he's going to face the Royals, who are third worst at striking out, versus left-handers at 32.4%. Woo! The Royals also, they can't hit left-handers. They only hit 169. This is good. This could also, you could do his strikeout. You could do over 17.5 outs. Perez is going deep in this game against this Royals team. So I'm with Perez and Kluber, both over 4.5 Ks. Did you have a second one?
Yeah, Perez is a good one as well. I definitely like that one, and it probably would have been my second one also.
Okay, so that is your second one.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I definitely like it. Yeah.
All right, fourth inning long shots.
Cool.
We try. Oh, you have another one? Sorry.
Nope.
Perez was the other one. Okay, what about a long shot? This is where you tend to shine on this show. You're good at picking up
Yeah,
those
it's not
dogs.
necessarily a long shot. I don't have any like monster underdogs today. Nothing that's massive. This started off as an underdog. I grabbed it at even odds. It was the Toronto Blue Jays. I think they came out plus 110 or plus 105. When it was even, I grabbed it, and I think it's now on its way closer to minus 120. So it's not really a long shot anymore. But, again, this is what I'm saying about this closing line value type thing is, when you're getting games at, over 9.5 and they're closing 10.5, or you're getting games at even odds and they're closing almost minus 120, this is where you want to be. So it's very difficult for me to make picks and then come on a show like this where enough time has elapsed that the pick is no longer available. So that's really the big service that I'm providing with my Discord, is that when I make these plays, they get sent out, boom, like that. You saw it yesterday when I sent one out, and it pops up immediately on your phone with a notification, and you can go get it in, and it's done. And then you just watch the line move in your favor, and that happens. I've tracked it. I'm close usually 75 to 80% good for the most part. You're not going to beat the closing line 100% of the time. There's going to be unforeseeable events like weather goes against you, or an injury in the NBA especially. You'll take a team and you get, I don't know, +5 and it goes to +3, so you have 2 points of value, and then they say, LeBron James is out, and all of a sudden your value is completely stripped. This has happened to me quite a few times, but overall, that closing goods where you want to be. Another one that I had for underdogs, which again is no longer an underdog. This is nuts. This game has been really floating back and forth, has been the Kansas City Royals. I know we just said we like Martin Perez to get strikeouts, but this game is weird on the line, where it's been anywhere from even odds up to 120 last night, or minus 120, and then came back down to minus 108. Now it's back to minus 120. That's just on a bungee cord. I grabbed it when I saw it going to the minus 120 last night. I think minus 108 or minus 110. So I'm beating it by a little bit currently on the Royals, but certainly a little scary going against the Rangers with Martin Perez. But beating the line is really the indicator that you want as a sharp bettor. That's or even a profitable bettor. If you're recreational, if there's one thing you're doing, beat the closing line, however you do it. If it's injuries or data models or steam chase, whatever angle you can get to beat that closing line, that's how you become profitable in the long run.
Or did you say you take the Royals as your underdog? Well, yeah, they're completely the favorite.
Yeah, well, it was an underdog. I mean, these aren't even underdogs anymore, but
yeah, well, because I'm going to give
they're
the
close
Rangers
to
as
even
the best dog today. Because they're now the current underdog, and I like them. You can get them at
okay, we're going heads up then.
I like
we're going
the
heads up.
Rangers. I'm getting the better starter. I'm getting the better offense. I'm getting the better bullpen. This check all the way across the board. And the offense advantages are massive. I mean, I just talked about Perez.
Then why are they an underdog?
People like that. Well,
I mean, they're not stupid, right? Like if it's better, and then you're getting an underdog, does it scream weird to you?
I mean, it's basically minus 110 against minus 110. I mean, it's a pretty much a coin flip game based on what the odds are. Though you can still get the Rangers at even money. I think people also don't believe in the whole sweeps. Sweeps are tough, and obviously the Rangers are going to try and pull off the sweep today. So that's why if you're scared of the sweep, if you don't like that narrative, maybe just take the F5 money line and say Perez left-hander should dominate a team that hits 169 versus left-handers. I'm just going to back Perez, and maybe I'll pivot to the F5 money line and avoid any sweep and late game goofiness. But I like the Rangers. They're my dog today. All right, fifth inning, keep swinging. You got any guys today?
In all my craziness this morning with the windshield and taxes, I did not look at any batters today.
Okay, I've got one.
Not my heaviest focus.
Let's circle back to Madison Bumgarner. Talked about avoiding their F5 team total, and that being the Cardinals. You can't ignore, though, Paul Goldschmidt and how he crushes Madison Bumgarner. So I'm going to do his over 1.5 total bases. He hits 342 off Madison Bumgarner with a whole lot of power coming along. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs. Yeah, sign me up for Goldschmidt. If they're going to hit that F5 team total that I laid off of, Goldschmidt's going to be a big part of that, obviously being the number 3 hitter. So I like him today up against Madison Bumgarner. And then we got our friend on the mound, Noah Syndergaard. Yeah, so who are you going to go ahead and pluck out of that Mets lineup to swipe a bag? The Mets, by the way. Yeah. Goddamn right. The Mets, by the way, this is like a really good matchup. Remember last time we took them with the Cubs? This is another good one because the Mets overall steal the fifth most bases in Major League Baseball. So in a very aggressive team, and on that team, Starling Marte takes the most at 7. So I'm going to go ahead and pluck out Starling Marte, the number 2 hitter, at plus 120 to go ahead and swipe a bag. Again, he leads the team with 7. The next guy's 4. The team overall is in the top 5 with 20. And it's Noah Syndergaard. We're 3-0. We've done every start. We faded Noah Syndergaard with who steals bags the best on that team. 3-0. Look to move to 4-0 with Starling Marte at plus 120. Sixth inning, it's a steal. What do you got today on your board? It's a steal.
I mean, I would say every play I've made is a steal because I'm beating the hell out of every closing line. So, I really... Any of the 4 plays I gave out on Twitter, on top of that, I like the Blue Jays. I don't know if I mentioned them today, but I like the Toronto Blue Jays despite Jose Barrios. I think there's maybe not the best reputation there, if I remember right. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of totals, and a couple money lines I have is the Royals and the Blue Jays. So. But, in terms of where I got the lines comparatively to where they are, everything I've done today has been a steal. So I'll just...
My whole card, I like it. All right, 6th inning. I like to give out my NRFI of the day, and we've got a special meeting, guys. There's a special meeting at 1 o'clock, and it involves all of NRFI Nation. So if you're a part of NRFI Nation, make sure you come on to this YouTube channel. We'll virtually be down in Kansas City, though, sweating 6 outs to glory. It's the Rangers. It's the Royals. That's going to go ahead and be your NRFI of the day. So, again, come on and support this NRFI right here, live at 1 p.m. Central Time. Live at 1 p.m. Central Time. Again, we've got Martin Perez. He hasn't given up an earned run in 3 starts. He did give up a run in one of his starts, but there was an error and a balk that he got called on, which led to that run. So it ended up being, though, unearned because of the error. Guys are hitting 182 off of him in the first inning. We talked about the Royals only hit 169. We should cruise through the bottom of the first inning, and he's got 5 Ks in those 3 starts. We love a guy that can bring the strikeouts, obviously, along with it. Brady Singer, clean in his first 2 starts, and then ran up against a hot Braves team versus right-handed pitching, and they rocked him for 4 runs, 2 home runs. Rangers don't have that, and they also don't have Corey Singer, which should help us right there. The team's ranked 17th and 26th in the majors of runs scored in the first inning. Rangers are middle of the pack at hitting right-hander, and the Royals are 3rd from the bottom at hitting left-handers. So, yeah, sign me up for 6 outs to glories down in Kansas City. It's the Rangers, Royals. Again, we'll stream it live right here at 1 p.m. Central Time. So if you're part of NRFI Nation, I look forward to seeing you sweating out 6 outs to glory with me. 7th inning coming to a stretch time. We got to give these guys our best bet today. What's your best bet?
Well, I think I tried this yesterday and it did not work out. It was a failure. I think in coming to a stretch, I put my hockey bet, which was the Colorado Avalanche on the 60-minute line. So I was glad I didn't pay for them on the normal money line because that would have been minus 200 disaster. I think I paid minus 130. So, save myself 0.7 units there. Today, I'm going to try to do something similar. I will go back to the NHL, and after kind of a rough defeat by the LA Kings there, we had the over, and we were glad for that overtime. The Oilers took the loss there. They'll play at home again in Edmonton today. just a much better offense. They blew it in the last minute of the game there on the last one. But tonight, again, I will take a minus 135 on the 60-minute line again for Edmonton Oilers. So try to do another 60-minute line there for the better offense, the better team, and a highly motivated and competitive team that's not going to want to drop two in the beginning of the playoffs in front of their home fans, especially with the best player in the entire world, Connor McDavid. You have Draisaitl and Evander Kane's in there, obviously. So, look for, again, probably another high-scoring game, but Edmonton definitely edges them out in the offense. So give them another go-around. I think they'll pull it off this time.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win them all. You did get a plus money win there with the Rangers on the money line. So, all right, let's go Oilers today. See if they can't come through on that 60-minute line. I'm going to do for my best bet today, I'm circling back to this Rangers-Royals game. I'm doing the F5 money line. I will avoid any late game sweep goofiness and really just target the Royals can hit left-handed pitching, and Perez is a good one. So I'm doing the F5 money line. It's a two-way line, so if there's a tie at the 5 innings, we will go ahead and get our wager back. All right, double play time. This is where I like to give you guys a parlay. I'll go ahead and go first. I've already teased half of mine, which was that Pirates F5 team total over 2.5. I'm going to tack along with that the Cardinals full game team total of over 5.5. I'm going to trust that they can actually get to Bumgarner and do a lot of damage. And then obviously that means they'll be working on the bad arms of that Diamondbacks bullpen. So Cardinals full game over 5.5. Pirates F5 over 2.5. That parlay comes in at plus 220. What's your parlay of the day?
What was your second one? It was an F5 was your second one?
Yeah, Pirates F5. I'm doing Cardinals full game.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just probably what you would get even money for. I think if you parlay 2 minus 200s, it's roughly even odds, I think. Maybe slight positive odds, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals on the money line to destroy Bumgarner there. And then I am very unfamiliar with Levi Stout for the Cincinnati Reds. That's the pitcher today, going against Drew Rasmussen on the Rays. Obviously, the Rays offense crushes, and I'm unfamiliar with the pitcher, so I'll just throw 2 of them in there for a money line parlay on heavy favorites.
Yeah, we'll get to that obviously here in rapid fire, but yeah, there's a reason you don't know him. He's making his MLB debut, and there's another guy on today's card that's making his MLB debut. So let's jump on in.
And that's for the Oakland Athletics, right?
Yeah, the Athletics and the Reds are.
And he's a number 3 prospect, and the game looks as if it's going to go under. So we'll get to that in rapid fire, as you said. But yeah, I'm already kind of queuing up and under on that 7.5 there, possibly, or maybe looking at the first 5. But yeah, go ahead and tell me your bets here, buddy.
I'm going to go ahead and do Goldschmidt, Marte, Perez. Of course, we've actually everything I talked about. I didn't add anything, so I don't need to run through them. I already talked about all that. I don't need to add anything to it.
Okay, my 4 bets are just literally what I posted on Twitter last night. 4 free picks. They're all beating the closing line by a half a run, and this was also given out in my Facebook group and all that as well. So yeah, it's just a lot of forms of media. I try to get it out on as much as I can. I have the Instagram, which is probably my least used. I have TikTok. I'm trying to use that one more often here, but yeah, Twitter and TikTok are probably the most 2 used for free picks and whatnot. So,
all right, let's jump on into rapid fire. See if we can't give away a good lean parlay that some people can't go ahead and cash. All right, let's kick it off here. We got baseball in about an hour. Looks like Rays and Reds are kicking it off with an over/under of 9.5. Rays minus 260, Reds plus 220. I don't touch dudes in their home major league debut.
You don't touch dudes?
If it's a road major league debut, I don't mind fading them. But when they're at home, I want no part of this. I have no idea, obviously, what the hell the guy this does in the major or the minors. I don't want any part of this. I don't know about an over and under. I have no idea. No clue. I do have something to say about that athletics game, though, when we get to that one, even though that's a new guy.
Yeah, I do as well.
All right, Guardians, Tigers.
Cool.
Can the Tigers pull off a sweep? Can the Tigers pull off a second consecutive sweep? Because I think they swept the Giants, if I'm recalling correctly. You got Guardians and Tigers with an over-under of 8. Guardians minus 135. Tigers at plus 115. Corn Trail's coming through for the people. If Guardians aren't getting swept, I'm taking the Guardians at minus 135.
Yeah, cool. I'll go against you. I'll back the Tigers then. I have no problem doing so. You know what I did yesterday that I thought was pretty cool? I I was watching the Tigers game. Well, I watched the score. I don't really watch the games, to be honest. The only game I watched yesterday, which is the first game in a long time, was that Avalanche game. Fairly frustrating as I thought they were the better team, but that's why it's a best of 7. I think they'll come back there.
I've been watching a ton of baseball this year. I've been watching a ton of it. It's enjoyable.
Oh, yeah?
With the pitch clock. Yeah, I mean the game's just moving along. It's enjoyable. I've watched a ton of it.
Did you hear that they extended beer sales into the 8th inning now instead of the 7th because the games are going so fast?
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah,
the owner is missing out on his revenue. He's like, nah, like one
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I think it was who's that? Pablo Lopez, I think. We have on the Twins now.
Okay.
But it was a 0-1 game. It was just like strikeout fest, and the game was done in like an hour and 59 minutes or something stupid. So yeah, they were like, yeah, we're gonna extend this to the 8th inning.
I hadn't heard about that across the major leagues. I'd heard about that happen in Milwaukee. And then go ahead and pull out your phone and jump on in your TikTok app and do Brewers fan pissing. There's this Brewers fan in the middle of the concession, pants down, and he's just spraying it out. Like obviously the bathroom was too many people, and there's this guy though filming it. It's quite hilarious. So I'm sure in Milwaukee they're redacting that policy and going down to like the 3rd inning. They're going the other way. Yeah. Crazy video. Gotta go check that out. All right. We got the so you're on the Tigers, I'm on the Guardians.
Oh, Tigers, yeah. I was gonna say, yesterday I know what I did. I saw the Tigers went up 1-0, then went down 3-1, and for whatever reason, I just put like a $50 small wager on plus 300 on the Tigers, and they came back and won it 4-3. So that was a nice $150 to pocket.
Nice. That was their 4th straight walk-off win, and they got the win in the nightcap, winning 1-0. All right, see if they can pull off the sweep today. Giants and Marlins. Over under of 7.5. Giants minus 110. Marlins come in so at minus 110. So a coin flip game. I'm taking the over. Whenever I see Trevor Rogers and Alex Cobb, I like to go on over. So I'm taking over 7.5.
Yeah, this is one that scared me both ways. Coin flip is exactly the right word. I think came out at 8, went down to 7.5. Won another game that I didn't really understand why it was going towards the under. Now it's coming back towards the over to 8. So one of these games, again, it's on a bungee cord, and the money line has been flipping back and forth as well. So it's nothing I feel comfortable on either way. Whether you do a money line on Team A or Team B or an over under, that's anybody's game there, man. You flip a coin, and that's probably your play there.
Diamondbacks and Cardinals with an over-under of 10. Diamondbacks at plus 170. Cardinals at minus 200. You obviously like the over since you've given out over 9.5. I will come along with that over. I'm going to come along with you.
And I think Cardinals will make up for a lot of those runs, being that it is Bumgarner. So, if you like the Cards, I don't know. If run lines, I think run lines have to be easier in baseball just because there's more scores. Hockey, the minus 1.5, I think it only covers like a third of the time. Seriously, it's like 35% cover on a minus 1.5 in hockey, but it'd have to be a little bit easier in baseball, I would imagine.
Next, we got the Rangers and Royals with an over-under of 9.5. Rangers minus 105. Royals at minus 115. I am all in on this game. I got 3 bets on this game, so I need this game to be cool if I'm going to go ahead and turn a profit today. I can tell you that. I like the Rangers, obviously.
So we'll go head-to-head. I'll take the Royals. It's just weird. If you're sitting there telling me that they're better team, and they're plus money, it's weird. It's a good team. It's a great pitcher. It's Martin Perez. Like, I'm not afraid to go against them, but it's weirdness in the line, and it's moving in the right direction, and I'm beating the closer as of now. So I got to stick with what I did last night.
Phillies and White Sox over under of 8.5. Phillies minus 120. White Sox come in at plus money. Walker against Clevenger. I'm sticking with the over. Hitting one of the 2 games yesterday. Nightcap was weird. I think it was 3-0. I'm going right back to the over in this series with these bullpens. So yeah, hit me an over.
Right. Yeah, that's the right pick, I think. I don't have an interest in the money line, but the over's where I'd go.
Mets and Dodgers with an over-under of 30 bases being stolen, with Mets at minus 120 and the Dodgers come in at even money. I'm taking the Mets. They're going to steal their way right around the goddamn bases, and Max Scherzer's going to throw a gem. Give me the Mets.
Yo,
The real
what
over under
kind
by the way
of
is 8.5.
line is this? Why did I not look at this line before now? Scherzer against Syndergaard, and they're at like very small favorite odds. That's weird as hell. Yeah, I like the Mets. I think, is this the last game of this series now? Should be.
It's at 2 o'clock today, so it looks like it's a good away time. So yeah, I'm gonna say it is at two
Okay,
o'clock.
because I think the first game I took the Mets and won. I laid off the second game. I think the Mets lost yesterday, right?
Yeah,
And
Kershaw. I
then
think it was
yeah,
4-0.
yeah, it was. Yep. So I'll take the Mets today. Hell yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
Mets at minus 120. Sign me up. Pirates and Rockies with an over/under of 11. Pirates coming in at minus 125. Rockies at plus 105. I'm going to believe that their hitting left-handing trend is trending up. I'm taking those Pirates at minus 125. Better
Cool.
bullpen.
I did that yesterday, and today I like the under, but at my price of the 11 and a half. Under 11 and a half is what I like there.
Cubs and Athletics over/under of 7.5. Cubs minus 155. Athletics at plus 135. You've got Justin Steele. Tough left-hander. Boy, has he been really good in his 3 outers. He's going up against Mason Miller of the Athletics, making his MLB debut. The Athletics, #1 team batting average and hitting left-handers. Just enough to put me off of the Cubs. Otherwise, I'd be all in on the Cubs and what Justin Steele is doing. But I don't really go up against teams that are smoking hot in an offensive category. So I'll lay off of it, and I will take instead the under, though. I still believe Steele is off to a nice roll. It's hard, so I'm taking the under.
And on the other side of that game, even though he is making his MLB debut, I read that he's the #3 prospect, and he's a 6'5" right-handed pitcher. So in terms of what he's going to be able to do in velocity and to use that kind of length, I've seen bigger pitchers before, and they do pretty well. I remember we had a guy on the Twins last year. He got sent down to the minors. It was that Bailey Ober, 6'9" unit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get pitchers that big, that tall, you'll find some good velocity in there, I think, and that might be tough with no familiarity whatsoever for the team that's going against him. I definitely like the under there, and that's what I would roll with.
Could be a good NRFI, could be a good F3 under. Maybe if you just want to say Miller through the first turn of the rotation, that could be a good F3
Yeah,
under. So.
I haven't actually put my money on it, but do anticipate that in some capacity I will get down on an under, whether that's in the first 5 full game or a NRFI of some sort. This is probably in the works for today.
Braves and Padres over/under of 9. Braves at minus 125, and the Padres come in at plus 105. Martinez versus Morton.
I'm
going.
Let me see. Struggling to find the game. I like Morton. I think I like Morton.
Real quick.
Trying to think yesterday how that one went. Braves win. I think Braves won.
I know Blake Snell did his normal, give up a gazillion runs and cash in that 5-team total. Some pitchers, this is why baseball is easy. This is why it's every year it's my most profitable sport. It's not even close. I'm taking the the Padres. I'm taking the Padres. Padres on the money line as a dog today at plus 105.
Okay, sounds good. I don't really have a huge opinion on it.
Okay, Brewers and Mariners. Hey, we were right yesterday. Brewers, we called them yesterday as a dog, and they came through in extra innings for us. You get an over/under today of 8.5. Brewers are the dog again at plus 115, where the Mariners are.
I don't think you'd want to take them with Eric Lauer, though.
2 left-handers on the mound there, and Lauer versus Gonzalez. Both of these teams were just like kind of average in hitting left-handers. Neither was good, neither was bad. So which average offense will show up? I trust Gonzalez way more than Lauer. So I think I'm taking the Mariners at minus 135.
Yeah, if they're not hitting, do you like an under then for that reason?
Well, they're not.
It's 8.5.
They're average. They're not. I mean, they're not like Kansas City Royals below the Mendoza line. They're just average. One team is where the hell's I can't even find it.
Well, I don't really like Lauer, as you don't, so I think I'll back the Mariners then.
Yeah, last time Lauer was on the mound, he came through for us. Over 4.5 hits allowed. Gave us a good cash. Love that right there. All right, Angels and Yankees. He gives up a lot of hits, does Eric Lauer. That's a recipe for getting, obviously, tagged. Yeah, I like the Mariners at minus 135. Angels and Yankees over under of 9. Angels plus 115. Yankees minus 135. You got Brito on the mound for the Yankees. See if he can bounce back after he didn't even get. Did he even get through an inning against your Twins when they put up a dozen on his ass? Did he
I'm
go
sure
1 inning
not.
pitch?
No, there's no way. No.
He put up a dozen. I don't think it was quite a dozen. I think it was 9, if I'm being honest. But either way, it was a lot of runs. This guy's got it. This guy.
I'm unfamiliar with Griffin Canning.
Well, because he missed all of last season due to an injury, and he's back. I don't quite know what he's doing this season. I think who won yesterday? It was 5-3. I think was the final. I can't remember which team had 5 though. I'm stumbling a little bit. Either way,
are the Yankees trying to get Ohtani? By the way.
Well, I think there's 30 teams trying to get Ohtani. For being honest, every goddamn team's trying.
I was reading articles, and they were like, acquiring Ohtani could be expensive, but putting him with Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, you guys don't need more of this.
Well, there's definitely no could be expensive. He's getting all the money. Like back up the truck. I mean, you're getting 2 players in one. He's getting all the money.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, man, it's like the Yankees of all teams are not the team that need him right now. So.
Actually, they do, because what do they do every postseason? They don't have enough pitching. They don't have the starting pitching depth every postseason.
It's the fact they're in every postseason.
Well, I mean,
it's like an upset if they don't win a World Series.
All the Yankees do is feast on starters 3 through 5. You could run them up against a 1 and a 2 starter. This is why they bow out in the postseason. They can't hit good pitching. All they do is feast on starters 3, 4, and 5. That's what they do during 162 games. It's not a good team. It's not a good team at all. They don't make enough contact. They just hit the long ball. It's not a good team. All right. What are we talking about here? Orioles and Nationals. Now I do see a starter. I didn't handicap this game earlier because there was no starter. Now I'm seeing Kyle Bradish up against Mackenzie Gore with an over-under of 8.5. Orioles minus 140. Nationals plus 120. That must mean Kyle Bradish is making his return off of taking a liner off of his leg. That was the bet we lost because we handicapped it against a starter, and then he exited, and we got screwed due to an injury. I'm still taking the Orioles. What am I talking about? They won yesterday. Actually, I hit my double play yesterday, Cubs and Orioles. I like the Orioles again today, minus 140.
Okay.
Oh, Jen said they're selling Ohtani jerseys in the apparel store. What? That doesn't sound
for the Yankees.
I'm assuming he's saying it's a Yankees jersey. I wouldn't be selling Angels.
Oh,
jerseys.
NYY are selling Ohtani. What?
That's quite funny. That's quite funny. All right, Twins and Red Sox over under of 8.5. What did you give out? You gave out 9, and it fell down a little bit. Okay.
Sorry, what game? Oh, the Twins game. Yeah, under 9.
Twins minus 130. Red Sox plus 110. I'm coming along. Well, obviously, I like the under. I'm coming along with your under. I'm going to do the 8.5. It's still more than justified. Obviously, like that one. All right, then the last game is Jays and Astros with an over-under of 9. Blue Jays minus 120. Astros at even money. Can Berrios come back? He did good against those Rays. He took everybody's cash that Friday night. Did Berrios? Let me look at the bullpen stats for a second while you throw out an opinion.
Yeah, it's right there on the bottom left of your screen. I have the under 9.5, and it's at 9 currently.
Oh, okay. Is this one of your? Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, 2 top 13-ish bullpens. I'll take that under. I'll come along for the under and think that maybe Berrios got it right and he's bouncing back. The Yankee store had Ohtani jerseys. Unreal. They're unreal. Another guy saying the same thing. That sounds like you can't do that, but all right. Man, unreal. All right, fellas. That's
Why are you guys shopping in the Yankee store? Get out of there.
All right, fellas. That's the Wednesday edition here of the Payoff Pitch. Make sure you come on back for a special NRFI Nation meeting at 1 p.m. Central Time today. It's Rangers, Royals. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys for tomorrow's small slate, but hopefully we can find ourselves some winners. Have yourself a day, fellas.
Yeah, and be on the lookout for some early plays there.
Okay, sorry.
On my other social media platforms. So that's all. Okay, goodbye. See you later.